I'm going to go over your 1.5 magnetism assignment with you today. So first of all, your learning targets are I can use magnetic field lines to show forces between two attracting magnets, and I can also use magnetic field lines to show forces between two repelling magnets. So obviously you guys have found your lesson video. You could either right click here to get your lesson video, or you found it on today's Teams post. So your first activity for today is your notebook. So open up your OneNote and add magnetic field and magnetic field lines to your vocab and key concept number 3, your key concepts page. You guys can find these on today's Teams post, or you can also just kind of right click right here and copy and paste those into your notebook as well. So it should look like this. Magnetic field is the space around a magnet in which magnetic forces can act on objects. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Can you wave? Get in there and wave. Good. So magnetic field is the space around a magnet in which magnetic forces can act on objects. So if you guys look at a magnet, there's kind of like an invisible field around that magnet. So an object doesn't have to be super close to a magnet for it to feel its magnetic force. Okay, if we were to indicate or draw and somehow show those magnetic fields, we would use magnetic field lines. So they're lines that connect opposite magnetic poles, so like north to south. And again, you guys saw these or are seeing these doing our magnetism lab this week with the iron filings and the compasses. And you'll also see that using the little compass simulation today. Okay, so again, if we're just looking at one magnet, we would draw these field lines by connecting the north to south pole. And again, you'll see what that looks like here in a second. Or we might be using two magnets and showing how one pole connects to the other pole, whether they're attracting or repelling. Okay, so moving on to activity 2, you guys are going to do a little compass exploration similar to what you guys did today, or excuse me, this week in our magnetism lab. So first off, you guys will need to open the link in Amplify. You guys don't need to go into Amplify to do this. You can just right click and open link. If you haven't logged into Amplify recently or into Clever recently, it will prompt you guys to log in through Clever, but it will redirect you back into Amplify. Sorry about that. All right, so we're all logged in now. Should pull up my Amplify for me. Okay. So for this, you guys have these directions right here. In the sim, place a bar magnet in the center of the screen. Press the field lines toggle at the top of the screen to display the field lines. Press run, then analyze at the top of the screen. And then once you guys are in Analyze, you'll select the compass tool and drag it onto the screen. Move the compass to different locations around the magnet and observe the direction of the compass needle at each location. So this compass, like I said, like you guys did in the lab this week, or are going to do in the lab this week, you will be able to use that compass to kind of almost trace out these magnetic field lines. So it would look something similar to this. You guys probably want to use a strong magnet. Okay, hit run, or excuse me, let's turn on first our field lines. So in the build, you guys are going to click on this toggle and you'll be able to see these neon green field lines. Okay, obviously they're kind of infinite. This just shows you guys a selection of field lines, but really you could keep drawing lines until you color in this whole area in this pattern. Okay, and then we're going to go hit run and analyze, and then over in the right hand corner you guys will see this little compass. You guys will be able to drag this compass. You might have to drop it first, but you guys can move it and kind of see how it mimics the field lines. So once you guys do that, you guys can come back here and answer this question. So it says, what happens to the compass needle as you move the compass around? So you're going to use the draw feature on this. Go to your top tab, choose a pen, and you guys can choose any color you want, and you guys will circle the correct answer. If you mess up, you can erase it. But most important thing you need to remember after answering this question is you need to click back on your cursor. Okay. All right, once you guys have answered that, move on to activity 3 is the magnetic field simulation. So here again is your sim link. If you guys have already closed out of it, mine's still open, so I don't need to click that. But I'm going to go ahead and reset it. All right, so for this one, how can you tell whether two magnets will attract each other, repel each other, or do both? So you're going to use the simulation to help you answer the questions. So the questions are actually on the next slide, not below. And then you guys are going to upload screenshots of this sim and use those to support your answers. So turn on the field lines by pressing the toggle and then drag 2 bar magnets onto the screen. So you guys will kind of manipulate these bar magnets to accomplish whatever goal is set in front of you. And there will be 3 little goals for you. Try arranging the magnets in several different ways and observe the magnetic field lines as the magnets attract and repel each other. Press run and observe how the magnets interact. So you'll see them either attract or repel. And then press analyze to review and closely examine field lines. Okay? So those are your directions. Remember that anywhere you guys see question marks, there's something that you guys need to do on that page, whether it's answer a question, draw something, whatever the case may be. So this one in the case, you guys have to either draw something or post a screenshot, and you guys also have a question to do. So what do magnetic field lines look like when 2 magnets repel? So you guys will set up your 2 magnets so that they repel. I'm going to turn off these field lines for you guys for right now. So remember, opposite charges attract and like charges repel, or like poles repel. So these 2 are like, so they technically should repel each other. Remember that you guys will use the field lines toggle and observe how those field lines work. Okay, so what do the magnetic field lines look like when 2 magnets repel? So you guys will observe those, and then you guys will use your draw feature to circle an answer. Okay, and then either use the draw feature to draw the magnetic fields between 2 repelling magnets or screenshots, 2 repelling magnets, or screenshot, copy, and paste an image from the simulation on this side. In all honesty, guys, drawing a picture of this is going to kind of suck because you basically have to draw all of this, including all these little field lines. Okay, so my suggestion to you guys would be to learn how to use the snipping tool or screenshot tool if you guys have a Chromebook. So if you have a Chromebook, look above the number 6. You have a little key up there that has a square with 2 vertical lines on the right of it. Hold down Control and Shift and then press that key, and you guys can kind of resize on your simulation here what that should look like. If you guys have something other than a Chromebook, you should be able to use the snipping tool. So search for that, click New. You can click and drag, and then again right click and copy, or you can hit Control C. And then paste that image into this slide. So it might look something like this. So Control C copies it, Control V pastes it. Okay, so that was a lot simpler than using the draw feature. Again, make sure you guys are going back to that cursor, otherwise you're going to have a hard time manipulating some things. Okay, so you'll want one obviously with all of these field lines on it. Okay, kind of a pain in the butt to draw all of those, especially if you're just using a touchpad mouse. All right, moving on, you guys will do the same thing for 2 attracting magnets. So flip your magnet so one side attracts. And see what your guys' field lines look like. And then either draw those or take a screenshot. Again, Control C copies, Control V pastes. And if you're using a Chromebook, Control Shift, and then the little key above the 6 with the square and 2 vertical lines is your key to use. Okay? Last but not least, and there's no question to answer for this one, but you guys are going to arrange those magnets where you have some magnetic field lines that show attraction and some that show repulsion. So they're not going to be set up like you guys see them there. So I want you guys to kind of work to manipulate. You're going to see some field lines that show attraction where they're connecting north to south, and you're going to see some that show repulsion where they're kind of pushing away and just connecting their own poles. So figure out how you guys can arrange those magnets where you see both attraction and repulsion, and then either draw or screenshot your setup right down here. Okay, moving on to the next activity. It's actually technically activity 4. Click right here. You guys can right click that, open your link, and you're going to have an article that pulls up in Amplify. You should already be logged in at this point since you've already used the simulation. Your article is called Painting with Static Electricity. So you guys don't have to highlight or annotate this, but you do have 2 questions to answer right here. So question 1, what are some ways that electric fields are similar to magnetic fields? So I've told you guys a lot that electricity and magnetism go hand in hand because they really are governed by the same concepts. So there should be multiple ways that they're similar. I want you guys to list 2 or 3 ways that they're similar. And then what is one way that an electric field is different from a magnetic field? So you only have to list one way. Your article looks like this. Okay, so not very long at all. A couple paragraphs, pretty easy. Okay, wrapping up. Do you have any questions? Use your draw tool to answer either yes or no. If you have a question, type it there. Obviously, if it's a question that's preventing you guys from completing this assignment, you want to hit me up in Teams. And then finally, circle 4, 3, 2, or 1. Let me know how you think you did on this assignment. And then you are all done. So make sure you turn it in, make sure it's complete, and you are good to go for the day. I hope you guys are all having a great day, but I do have an extra credit opportunity for you guys. If you can send me a message in Teams telling me what not so mythical sea creature popped in and said hi to me, I will give you guys some extra credit. So again, shoot me a message in Teams. Let me know who came and visited, and I will add some points to you guys' grades. I hope you're all having a great day. Bye.